Basics. Stick to the basics and practice them nonstop until you can execute them perfectly. Hey, welcome back to our session on the basics in learning to play saxophone. And today we're going to talk about those 12 keys. But before we do, if you'd like to support this channel, please click on my Patreon link in the description below. It'll take you to my Patreon page. And for, just the small amount of $1 a month, you can really help me to continue to produce this kind of content for you. And if it helps, I hope that it does. Also, introducing a new feature, private consultation. Right? It's not a lesson, it's a one-on-one between you and me. And we can do it on Zoom, or we can do it over the phone. We could text each other, whichever way you'd like to spend an hour with me. There's a way to book that also in the description below. So 12 keys from the West Coast here of the United States, where the weather is lapsed from this kind of weird end of May, rainy, cold, to this June gloom. None of us enjoy that, by the way. This June gloom thing kind of puts a low horizon in everybody's mood here, and so I guess we're all kind of crabby and grouchy and everything. Not a good time to visit if you're planning a vacation here to the West Coast. Come in July, July. June is out. July is good. August is good. September starts to get warm then, but anyway, I digress. 12 keys. You started to learn them in those of you who were in 4th grade band class, right? You started to do scales. You started to do scales, right? And you didn't do the mother of them all, probably the B flat major scale, but you started somewhere. Maybe you did do B flat major, but you probably stayed in the middle of your horn. And I just played a wrong note, didn't I? Yeah, you caught it, right? All right, can you knock out a B flat major scale for me? If you can't, you need to get on that, okay? Assuming that your horn's in good repair, you got a mouthpiece that's working for you, and you love your reed, well, right, that's a bit of a stretch, but knock out that B flat major scale, take it through both octaves. You want to do all 12 of your scales and be able to execute them perfectly, right? And then let's take them in thirds, all right? Every other note, all right? You can look that up for this benefit of time here for the rest of you. If you don't know how to play a scale in thirds, look it up. You can also do it in fourths. Play them in intervals, right? But get your major scales down. Now you want to get them down and you want to use a metronome. We've talked about that before. It's the best trend here. Your metronome right here. Metronome. Let me see what I've got mine set at. Right? Well, mine's a little peppy today. Let's take it down to 60 beats per minute. Bob Reynolds loves 60 beats per minute. 60, whether you're a beginner or whether you're a pro, he likes 60. Bob Reynolds has a lot of really, really good content on his YouTube channel. Cool guy, great saxophone player, and a great teacher, right? So let's do 60. Man, I thought I changed the sound of that beat. That's the thing about these. They just have the worst. The click track is so ugly. 60 beats per minute, okay? Take a scale that you're really good at. Oh, man, I unhooked here. Hold on. All right, let's just take a scale and let's just do it. You get the point? All right, all 12 of those. Let me turn my little friend here off, all right? The reason why I don't use a metronome on my phone is because, you get a text or you get a message or something, and then practice is all over, right? Pick a scale a week, scale a month, I don't care. Why am I harping on this? Because I have students who have won jazz soloist awards, right? I have students who have gotten A grades on their scale tests and can't remember them the next day. If at all possible, take the advice of my pal Christopher Holliday and learn them by ear. Christopher's a great bebop alto sax player. Learn them by ear, not off the page, all right? The school age students who have learned scales off the page don't remember them. They'll study for a test and then not remember them. But I've got a couple of middle school and high schoolers who can just blow solos that would make you weep. They're so good. I'm talking 12 to 16-year-old kids, and but they can't play a scale. So what do we work on? We work on scales. All right. And only after you get the major scales, move on to the minor scales. All right. Minor scales. Right. I like the natural minor form of that, which lowers the third, the sixth, and the seventh. It's a pretty useful form to have. We can talk about that another time. In fact, we can talk about that in a private consultation. Or the Dorian minor form, all right? Dorian minor lowers the third note and the seventh note by a half step of the major scale. It's very easy conversion. Excuse me. Sneezing all day. It's June gloom stuff, right? Or maybe it's just dog hair in the practice room. I don't know. But anyway, you get the point, all right? Basics. We're sticking to the basics and we're getting really good at them, all right? Really, really good at them, all right? The way to learn 12 keys is to practice the 12 scales, all right? Majors. And again, there's no hurry. Use your metronome. Bob Reynolds loves 60 beats per minute. Hey, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for us. So let's set your metronomes at that. Do this every day, until you can really knock those out without thinking, okay? All right, make them beautiful. Stick to the basics. Practice them endlessly until you can execute them perfectly without even having to think about it. Hey, we're going to go out to the sound of some dog barking here, I think. Guys are getting ready to launch an attack on somebody. I pity the fool. All right, have a great day. Thanks for being here. See you.